Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk Radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk Radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Bill in Liberty, Missouri on 3. Hey, Bill, thank you for your patience. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, Tom, right off the bat, before I forget it, I'd like for you to, later on, I'll listen to the show if you tell me about the Glock 44, or if somebody could call in and tell me about it. I'm thinking about buying one, but I'm really worried about buying a brand new gun, without knowing much about it.
Sure, I understand.
The problem I'm having, I know I've talked to several gun owners that is actually thinking about voting for Joe Biden. And I've tried to explain to them, and they said, oh, we have the Second Amendment. And I said, look at some of these other states that had the Second Amendment and what's going on. So how do you talk to somebody? Because they're too damn concerned about the things he's saying and the other things, and they're not concerned about their gun rights.
You know what you might want to do? First of all, it's a really good point. And I remember people saying, well, we've always got the Second Amendment, so they're not really going to do anything. They're not really. Yes, they are. And yes, they're doing it right now. I mean, when they're restricting you to one gun a month in states, now those, as you say, great point, Bill, they have the Second Amendment there. They're on a gun quota system, a rationing basis, if you will. In places where they require a 10-day background check, there's still a Second Amendment there, but they just keep chipping away at it. What I would probably do, honestly, is direct people to go look at Joe Biden's website, his official campaign website, and look at his stance on guns. The entire page on his website was written by the gun ban lobby, the Mothers Demand Action and Every Town for Gun Safety, the Bloomberg Group. They are running Joe Biden's gun ban campaign. And he openly says right there he is in favor of banning the most popular firearms in America today, taking them away from people. So for those who say, well, I don't know about Trump. He says, yeah, I know. He says stuff that's goofy, and a lot of us wish he wouldn't do that stuff. But when it comes down to it, if your issue is the Second Amendment, there's really no choice. And I guess, Bill, let me throw this thought out, and I want to get your take on this. The other thing that I always come back to on this is, ultimately, all of this is going to be decided by the courts, the federal courts and the Supreme Court. Joe Biden will put people on the courts who are anti-gun, and Trump has a record already of putting people on the courts who are pro-gun. What do you think of that as an argument?
Well, that's probably a better argument than what I was trying to explain about the Second Amendment, because you're right. He has put two of them already on the Supreme Court. So,
right.
Yeah.
And if he gets reelected, I think the odds favor him having a shot at putting two more justices on the Supreme Court. And at that point, you have a majority who can make some decisions, who can reinforce the Second Amendment rather than whittle away at it, which is what the Biden choices for the Supreme Court will do. And for me, I mean, you could talk about all the other stuff and get bogged down in the mire of everything else. But if you start talking about what's important on a long-term basis, it's judges and justices. And on that, it's very, very clear. Biden is not just anti-gun. Biden is in favor of gun bans. He openly calls for them. He says he's going to put Beto O'Rourke in charge of his gun ban policy, the guy who says, hell yes, we're going to take away your AR-15s. Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no choice. And then, and look, I got to scoot here, Bill, but I appreciate the call. I appreciate you mentioning this. There's also a few people who say, well, Trump's not really hardcore Second Amendment. Nope, he's not. I give you that, okay? Because Mr. Hardcore Second Amendment is not running for president this year, nor any year. Your only choice, it's an A-B choice. It's one or the other. There's no C, okay? It's Biden, it's Trump. Biden is horrible. Trump is pretty darn good. Is he perfect? Not even close. Can we trust him? I don't trust anybody, But so far, he's been pretty good on most things. He's been bad on a couple of things. But Biden's going to be bad on everything. So if you're an adult, you kind of look at that and go, okay, perfect isn't running, but I'm going to do the best I can do, and I'm going to make those choices. I mean, it really is as simple as that, okay?